Hey guys, it's Brian with J&P Cycles, and nothing is worse than going out to your bike and having a dead battery. So today we're going to show you how to properly fill and then maintain a new battery when you get it. Now this video does apply to those AGM or acid fill batteries, and where lithium ion or gel are already factory activated. When you order these, you're going to see you're going to get a core of a battery and then an acid pack. So we're going to show you how to combine the two to get a fully prepped battery. It's also important to follow these steps because you want to make sure your battery gets its full lifespan the first time you use it. So you really don't want to shortcut any of these steps. All right, let's start by unboxing our battery. Pulling out the acid pack and the battery core. Our first step is we're going to need to remove the acid pack out of this bag. So carefully just cut that open, and then we're going to remove this black cap. But save this, you don't want to throw this away because this is what we're going to end up using to seal the top of our battery with. You'll see there's a foil cover here. When you remove the foil here, you're going to expose the ports going into the cells of your battery. And you'll see inside there's almost like these little needle-shaped kind of like valves or like spigots. What they're going to do is you're going to take your acid pack, and when you put it against here, it's going to pierce that, allowing that fluid to drain in. So you're going to want to set your battery level and then grab your acid pack. Just push down, you'll hear a pop. And then you'll start to see kind of the bubbles rise and that liquid starting to go down. Now at this point we don't want to squeeze it or force any of that down. We kind of want it just to naturally fall down, because what it's doing is there's mat or like a material in your battery here. So all that liquid's going down and soaking that mat in there. So we don't want to squeeze it, and because what will happen is it'll overflow and you're going to get acid everywhere. Now this battery is flowing pretty well. You can expect kind of this kind of flow rate, but if for some reason it becomes vapor locked and the electrolyte or the acid isn't flowing into the battery, very carefully you can take like a pin or some type of needle and just poke a hole into one of these little cells here, and you'll see that it'll drain much quicker. Now I say just do it one at a time, because if you do it anymore, it'll kind of overload everything and you're guaranteed you're going to spill some acid. So again, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to puncture a hole because this is moving pretty good. The big thing and the key to filling a new battery is take your time. We want the cells and everything in here, we want them to soak, and we want it to do so in a timely fashion. We want all this to drain properly. We don't want to spill any. So really, you don't want to do this in a rush. Once this is completely filled, we're going to allow this to sit and soak. At this point, you'll probably start smelling some rotten eggs or that very phosphorus smell. That's totally fine. That's totally normal. That's just this acid pack here. Now, when this is empty and you discard it, I would just throw it in like a plastic bag and throw it away. That way it doesn't stink up your garage and smell like old eggs or some nasty old man farts. All right, now that we can see all of the acid or electrolyte fill is completely drained into the battery, we can remove and discard. And then I'm gonna let this sit here and soak for a few minutes. So while this is soaking, you're going to feel that the battery is going to actually be pretty warm to the touch. And I'm not going to cover it up. I'm going to allow this to breathe for a minute because all those little bubbles and gas bubbles are going to pop up. So I'm going to give this about probably 10 minutes, let it soak, let the air come out, and then I'm going to seal it. All right, it's been about 10 minutes, and now that we're going to head back to the battery, I'm going to take that little black plug piece that we took off the acid pack, and this is what we're going to seal that top of that battery with. So it's fairly simple. All you need to do is just insert this into those same holes and then make sure that when you press it down, it's flush all the way across. All right, now that we've sealed the battery, I'm gonna again let this sit and soak. Now, this battery is good to go. So if you're going to throw it in the bike and say if it's an emergency, you need to get out and ride, this will give your bike charge and start it up. But it's important that we want to let it soak a little bit longer before we actually charge it. And the reason why is even though that fluid is in here, it's already starting to create that reaction and create a charge, but it's about 70–75% charged right now. So we really want to take it to that full 100%. So I'm going to allow this to soak for a couple hours, or really just let it sit overnight. There's no risk of anything harmful happening to it. Let it sit overnight and then throw it on a charge. This is going to guarantee that that expensive battery you just got is going to last its full potential life cycle. If you are in somewhat of a rush, I would say before you put it on a charge, make sure the battery cools down. So like right now, it's still warm to the touch, almost hot even. So I'm gonna let this sit for a few hours, and then I'm gonna get back and I'm gonna throw it on a charger. All right, I've let this soak for about 6 hours, so I'm pretty confident everything's soaked and it's good to go. So now we're gonna throw it on a charge. And really the best way to do that is to get a battery tender or some type of battery charging setup. So we do use the battery tender brand here, and really it's pretty simple. So you can get a kind of a home unit like this where it's going to charge and maintain your battery, or you can get kind of a smaller travel. It does the same thing, it just doesn't regulate it as much. Now there are different leads too, which these plug into. So there are kind of this universal pigtail lead, and you'll see this with a lot of like heated gear or accessories will plug into that. So before you throw your battery into your bike, you can always hardwire a new lead, a pigtail lead up to your battery. Or, and we're going to use for these purposes, just use these alligator clips. So once you're here, pretty simple. All you need to do is the ground goes to the negative and the red goes to the positive. We see that this is charging. Now this is going to do everything for us. It's going to charge it, and then when it gets up to 100%, it's going to maintain it, allowing that percentage to drop between 98, 99, and then bring it back up to 100, so it's constantly thinking, constantly moving. So we're going to allow this to go to charge for a few hours, and we're going to come back to it to a full battery and throw it in a bike. So knowing how to properly fill and maintain a new battery is going to save you a lot of time and money down the road. Now, if you're watching this video and you're looking to buy a new or replacement battery and you head over to jpcycles.com, make sure to use our Bike Finder app to ensure you get the right battery for your bike the first time you order. Now, if you want to see some more gear reviews or product installs, make sure to follow us on social media and subscribe to us on YouTube. Together, we'll help you find what's next.